Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today, top 5 marathon shoes for 330 marathoners. If you're looking for a new shoe, welcome. You're in the right place. An even better place would be the Supwell app. Supwell app is my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace for hobby joggers. If you haven't heard of it, here's the deal. People will get a shoe, maybe the SC Elite V5 like this, or the Adios Pro 4, or the Alpha Fly 3. They'll put a run on it. It doesn't work for them, so they'll list it for well below MSRP on the Supwell app and pass along a deal to another hobby jogger. People also will get a shoe like this or an older shoe, right? Maybe they're stockpiling the SC Elite V4 because they thought it was the best shoe of all time. But then they realize, oh, the V5 came out and I want that. And I just have this shoe that's brand new sitting in a box. So they list it for well below MSRP on the app. So if you're looking for a great deal on a new shoe or a great community to help take your training to the next level, help you be accountable, make sure to get in with us on the Supwell app and enjoy today's video. Dude, such a banger. I've been listening to the Metro Boomin. I don't know if it's an album or a mixtape. I guess it's an album because it has two sides. He calls it Futuristic Summer, but the vibe is actually very similar to the Summer of Mileage playlist that we put out a few months ago. The vibe is just old school Atlanta beats, and all of them are upbeat. Charlie told me, she said, I showed her one of the songs, she said, this is in a major key. I said, dude, you have all these hidden talents I didn't know about. She actually used to play viola, Charles, back in the day, putting in work. So it's very upbeat, happy, old school Atlanta music. There's this one song I've been playing on repeat, Stealing All My Swag. Just banger. Banger. And yeah, my friend, or Charles' friend is over today, came through clean in the Honda Odyssey. So we had to give it a cameo, because if you're pulling up in a fresh and clean Honda Odyssey in the burbs, man, that's a flex. Came through flexing on us. So today we're going to go through the top 5 marathon shoes and race shoes for 330 marathoners. This is one of those other videos that people ask me for a lot. I was actually planning on doing somebody else asked me for a non-plated long run shoe video and just refreshing that, because I did that one about a year ago, but I want to wait for the Vomero Plus to do that. So today we're going to do top 5 long run shoes, or sorry, top 5 330 marathon shoes. Let's kick it off with some honorable mentions. Also, I don't think it's that bad, but we do have 3 lawnmowers going now. I've been waiting all day. It's 4:40. Typically on Saturdays I try to film earlier, but the last few weeks I haven't been because I've been resting on Saturday. Saturday is my day of rest. I was actually supposed to take the day off from running, but Charles did her long run this morning, and then she had to take Mason to a birthday party, so I was with Reevesy and Roni. And we were just all getting stir crazy. We went out, got some burgers, and they got a fried cauliflower and waffle. Reevesy and Roni and split that. So I was just stir crazy. Felt like I needed to move, so I ended up doing a stroller run with Roni. And I thought if I waited, the lawnmower situation would be de-escalated, but it's up there right now. We got 3 lawnmowers going just right there. So I'm gonna power through. Hopefully it's not that bad for you. Maybe I can just slightly tilt that way. Is that better? No. But then I need that's better. Let's just, hopefully it's not that bad. If it's bad, let me know. Or don't let me know, because there's nothing I could do at this point. Anyway, 2 honorable mentions. The first one, well-known quantity. This is battle-tested. Hobby joggers from 6-hour marathons down to 220 marathons, and elites have run in this. The fastest marathons ever have been running this. Nike Alpha Fly 3, rest in peace to Kelvin Kiptum, the fastest marathon that's been verified on a real course for the world record, was running this 2 hours flat 35 seconds, and people all over running this thing, man. I'm forgetting now who it is, but there was an NBA player whose sister ran a marathon. I think it was an LA marathon last year. She ran about 4.5 hours. And they're wearing this. So tons of people wear this. I'm not putting it on the core list because I do think there are better options for the 3.5 hour marathon that combine comfort and speed and just work better for the mechanics that most people are going to be using for a 3.5 hour marathon. But this still is a really good shoe, especially if you like that aggressive, bouncy feel. This is always a shoe for me that forces me to run faster. And I actually did this speed efficiency test a few months ago. It was this versus Sky Paris. What was it? Sky Paris, Vaporfly, and one other shoe, Adidas Adios Pro 4. And with this one, I was actually not as efficient with it at the paces I was testing at, because I felt like I was exerting more effort trying to slow myself down. So it's a runaway train kind of shoe. I think if you're in that 3:30 marathon fitness, you might like this better for half marathons and shorter, because it's one of those shoes that works well and you can really just let it fly and get it going. So I ran in the Alpha Fly earlier this week. I have another pair with the Fire Flames on it. This is the prototype pair. Such a clean look. We are actually going to be coming out with some stuff in the fall merch that has a very similar orange color, just coincidentally, but I love this orange color. But yeah, I ran 2 workouts in it earlier this week, and both of them I was just flying. So it's not the absolute fastest or most aggressive shoe, but it does force you to run faster. It also really prioritizes a midfoot strike. So if you're landing on the heel back here, you're not going to get the most benefit. And it's a serviceable shoe, but I just think there are some better options. But if you're a Nike fan, or you just like the way it looks, or you're just going to get the Alpha Fly because it is literally the most popular marathon shoe, then go for it. So consider this my hobby jogger blessing. Go ahead and pick this up if you are considering it. Now, the second honorable mention, not a known quantity, not a shoe that has been tested a lot, which is why I'm not putting it in the top 5 list. I need some water, hold on. Never mind, I'm just gonna power through. Brooks Hyperion Elite 5. I've tested it, I've really liked it. I did a 20-mile long run, and I did, I think, a 10-mile run with 5 miles at marathon pace out of the box. It's been good to potentially great. One of those shoes where there's not much wrong with it. I think the only thing that I felt that was wrong with it was it felt slightly too aggressive for me at those actually 3:30 marathon pace, around that mid 3-hour marathon pace range. So for me, when I was running 8 flat down to 7 flat pace with this, it didn't feel fantastic. It started feeling better when I was closer to 7 or 650 down to 6 flat, and even faster at my marathon pace, which is 540. So it could be that it just works better at anybody's marathon effort. So thinking about effort, not pace, if you're pushing and trying to run faster than your daily pace, or it could be that it really is a shoe that's going to work better for the half marathon distances. So it's not the most comfortable shoe. I think that's why I'm hesitant to put it on the list. Also, it's just not tested yet enough. It hasn't been out there enough. I haven't seen a ton of hobby joggers picking it up, and with the 2 runs that I have done in it, I'm not confident that it's going to be a shoe that I recommend to a ton of people. So if you are looking for something that is on the simpler side, no frills, slightly more aggressive than some of these top 5 shoes here, more bite in the forefoot, but no nonsense, good stability, that would be the Hyperion Elite 5. I really like this upper. It reminds me a lot of the old school Vaporfly shoes. Not a whole lot wrong with it. Also, if you look at the plate position here, so you can see where they have this, oh, thank goodness. I think he's turning off the mower now. Oh my gosh, have I just been screaming this entire time? If you look at the plate position here though, they scoop it down so you get a decent amount of foam above the plate here. And my guy Santiago put a really good review up on the Supwell app of this shoe, and he was saying he has sensitive feet, and running in plated shoes can beat up his feet or just give him discomfort. And he had I think something like a $200 gift card so he could buy any shoe that he wanted from a local running store, and he tried them all on, and this was the one that felt best for his feet. So that was another reason I wanted to give it a shout out. I have seen reviews like Santiago's, my guy Nick Ward. There's been a few other people on the Supwell app who have posted reviews of this, and they have really liked it, and I've liked it for my running as well. It just hasn't separated itself from the pack in any way yet. So honorable mention, Brooks Hyperion Elite 5. All right, let us get to the core of the list. Let's actually go least aggressive to most aggressive. All right, boom. First up, Saucony Endorphin Pro 4, number 5. We're going least aggressive to most aggressive, $240. This guy, you get the full beaded PIBA foam, the Power Run PB with the carbon fiber plate. You also get this tiny thin layer of Power Run HG foam on the top, which is slightly firmer. And I do think it gives it more of a snap on the forefoot, or just a different forefoot experience than the Endorphin Pro 3. So this is a shoe that has been slept on now because it came out 18 months ago or something. It came out actually after the Alphafly 3. Alphafly 3 now might be the oldest current model race shoe on the market. Is that true? Out of the major brands? Adidas, Asics, Saucony, New Balance, Brooks. Yeah, the Alphafly 3 is now the oldest out of all those top 5 brands. Even Mizuno, if you want to throw them in there. On, you want to throw them there. Because this thing came out, I think December 2023 was when it first started trickling out. At least reviewers started getting their hands on pairs. I think I got my pair December 2023. So yeah, oldest shoe right here. But another old shoe. This might be the second oldest shoe. And when I say oldest shoe, I'm talking about when it initially released and when it's been updated. This hasn't been updated since, what is it, February? Yeah, February 2024. So been on the market for a while. That tends to mean people don't check for it as much. They have refreshed the colorways. There's the mutant colorway, but this is a good one if you just want something comfortable. It also feels really nice for heel strikers and midfoot strikers. It has this more relaxed character to it versus other marathon shoes. Yesterday I did an 18-mile run in it in the morning at around a 7 flat pace. If you watched that video, you could see my full thoughts there, or you saw my full thoughts there yesterday. Really pleasant ride. It's just enjoyable, satisfying. There's a good amount of squish without being too mushy. And then the forefoot does have a nice snap and toe off. So it's not a completely neutered shoe, but it provides a lot of comfort in the heel. In the midfoot, it encourages you to land heel in midfoot. So I would get this one if you want something that is on the more comfortable side, not the most aggressive, but still does have that race day pop. All right, next on the list, one of my personal new favorites here. It's just hard some days, man. It's just hard. It's just hard, but my guy's putting in the work. I can't be mad. I don't own the right to film outside. I don't. So if I'm gonna film outside, this is what we have to deal with. And then people say, why don't you film inside? That is the classic question that I've gotten asked for years now. Why don't you film inside? I don't have a place to film inside. We also have guests over right now. I'm just not comfortable filming inside. I have an office, but it doesn't have real doors. It has these sliding doors, and I can't be myself. I can't be yelling bada boom, bada bang in the indoors. The only place I can really film is here or my Jeep. I do feel good filming in the Jeep, but I'm not gonna film a video like this in the Jeep. So we're out here dealing with the lawnmowers. But actually, a lot of people have told me recently the lawnmowers aren't as bad. That's what they've said. They say to you who are listening, it doesn't feel that bad. Another thing I could investigate is maybe getting one of those Lavalier mics. Is that how you pronounce it? Lavalier. It's like the team that LeBron James used to play on, the Cleveland Lavaliers. You put it on the hat or the shirt here. Maybe that would improve. Anyway, we have the New Balance SC Elite V5, one of my personal favorites out of the recent marathon training shoes. This thing just feels, or marathon racing shoes, that was a Freudian slip, because what I was about to say is this thing just feels so good for training. It's like it took the formula of the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4 and just improved it in every way, because when the Pro 4 dropped, people were lobbing super trainer accusations at this shoe. It was also the cheapest race shoe at the time, $225. It's now not, because the Deviate Nitro Elite 3 is $230, at least talking about the major brands. So people lobbed the super trainer accusations. This one feels very similar in spirit to the Endorphin Pro 4, but it's faster, feels more streamlined. It also has that 8mm drop, so it's gonna feel good if you're landing at the back or in the middle. But the stability is really solid, the comfort is really solid, no hot spots. Just one of those shoes, again, similar to the Brooks that I highlighted, where there's just nothing wrong with it. But the way that this has separated itself from the pack in a way that the Brooks has not, is that it feels so comfortable. I love training in this shoe, man. I could use this as a daily trainer, but I can also crank it up and get it going when I want to, man. I've done some really solid workouts in this. I think I did a marathon pace tempo. I did some high mileage training on the treadmill. Yeah, I did 9 miles at marathon pace on the treadmill in this. Then I also did a marathon tempo on the roads. I haven't gone faster than marathon pace, at least nothing more than strides, but it's felt solid for those strides. And I think for some people out there, again, this is a 3:30 marathon video, so your marathon pace is going to be in the 7s to train, and your training paces are going to be 7s to 8s. Your fastest workouts are likely going to be in the 6s. So you're not going to be maxing out the shoe, or at least experiencing it in the same way that someone who's running 5 flat, 5:20 paces. So plenty of speed in this shoe. Also, I'm not even maxing out the shoe because somebody named Alex Yee, he's a New Balance athlete, I was told he ran a 2:11 in this at the London Marathon. So plenty of speed in it. If anything, that would be the one downside of this shoe, just not the most aggressive, but I think that's actually a good thing for a marathon shoe. It feels very comfortable, very natural. It has enough snap when you want it. It has enough aggression when I want it, but that is not the predominant character of this shoe. It's not screaming to me, I'm an aggressive shoe. You need to get up on the forefoot, or you need to push the pace to get the benefit out of me. That is what the Alphafly screams. It's always saying, you're going too slow. You're too soft. Start running harder. This one doesn't do that. This one just feels good at whatever pace. It's one of the shoes where you are in control of the experience. If you want to go fast in it, you can go fast. If you want to hang back, you can hang back. So SC Elite V5, this might be my personal top pick out of these for 3:30 marathons. But let us go on. Middle of the list here, number 3, and this is a ranking from most comfort oriented to fastest and most aggressive. Number 3, On Cloudboom Strike, another one that came out last year, but still one of the top shoes, man. So what a lot of these shoes have in common is the comfort, right, and the bounce and the softness. This one is just a really special shoe. It puts a smile on my face because I just enjoy running in it. I have this past 100 miles. Another shoe like the New Balance that I just feel comfortable and enjoy training in. So great bounce, great cushion, doesn't bottom out, and plenty of speed. I ran some of my fastest workouts of the year last year in this shoe, man. The first run I did, 24-mile long run, that was the Who You Callin' Small run, where I did just fast threshold pace, just as fast as my threshold pace is now. I just pulled that, like pulled a rabbit out of a hat one morning and was able to just rip. And then I also did that big threshold pyramid workout in this shoe, so the 4-3-2-1, the pain pyramid. So plenty of speed here, plus the comfort. Downside to this one, I actually switched out the laces. You can see we have these greenish blue laces here, and the upper has this weird popping thing. So it's $280, and there are some issues like this where the upper is just weird, and you can hear it. Has one of these almost plasticky uppers. So not the best upper, but the underfoot experience is nice. Great bounce, definitely gives you that speed assistance if you're looking for something to take the burden off your legs. And I know people who have run sub-3 marathons in this one, so plenty of speed. Not gonna slow you down, but just gonna give you everything you need when your legs are feeling beat up. All right, next on the list, boom, an old favorite, Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. So this was my top marathon shoe of the year last year. It's still up there for me, but I think I've just been going for the newer shoes to train in recently, the Sky Tokyo, Edge Tokyo, SC Elite V5, revisit the Alphafly, but this is another one of those no-nonsense shoes. Great stability, decent comfort. The difference between this and all the other shoes that I've pulled out so far is it is on the firmer side, especially when you're not cranking up the pace. So this is gonna be the best for bigger runners or for anyone who needs a firmer, more stable feel. The heel of this is the most substantial, very similar to the Hyperion Elite 5 actually, but just even more stable in this guy. Nice and wide midfoot. The toe box actually isn't bad. This is a pretty good toe box here when it comes to the width. That is a misconception that all the Puma toe boxes are super narrow and they're gonna crush your toes. They are not, because this one is not gonna crush your toes and be super narrow. I mean, you can even just look at it compared to the Saucony front to front. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. So you can get your true to size in this. Also great grip on the bottom, gonna be great for the wet weather. So this would be my pick if you need a shoe for any inclement conditions. Also my pick if you want to put a lot of miles on something, because this has nearly 100 miles, and the only thing that's showing you that is some of the discoloration on the foam, but there's basically no wear and tear on the foam at all. It looks like it's in great shape. So a great high mileage marathon training shoe and a race shoe, just a good old reliable pick. If you don't like shoes that are on the firmer side though, I would get any one of these other shoes. These are the two shoes really, it's almost like the yin and the yang, where very similar experiences, almost similar drop, similar geometry. It even feels like there's a similar plate position, the SC Elite V5 and the Deviate Nitro Elite 3, but the Puma just has this firmer, more bite character to it, and then the SC Elite V5 has this softer, more relaxed character to it. So that would be, I would go for either the soft one, if SC Elite V5, or the firm one in the Puma, depending on your preferences. All right, last one, the fastest out of all these, not including the Alpha Fly, but out of the Core 5 fastest, boom, Adidas Adios Pro 4. So this is a shoe that I have personally had a love-hate relationship with. This is my second pair, because the first pair I went up half a size because everyone and their mothers was saying go up half a size in the Adios Pro 4, so I did, and it was terrible. I hated it. This one has been better. I still don't love the heel feel, but that's why it's the fastest, because at slower paces, this does not feel good for me. There's this mushiness in the heel, especially if you're a midfoot striker, because this is what I've started to realize about a lot of these shoes, right? If you land with your toe pointed up, heel, jamming the heel down, I don't even know what you want to call it, a lot of these shoes will actually activate, but if you land flat-footed, more of a shuffling style of jogging, which I do at a lot of my relaxed paces, some of these shoes, it just exposes their weaknesses. You got the choppiness, you got the heel clipping, and with this one, with the cutouts and the indentations and how much, I mean, you can see how much this foam compresses here just from how dirty it is in the back. With this one, the heel feel just gets exposed and it's weird. However, at faster paces, when landing right up here on the bounce spot, this feels incredible. So this is a really fast shoe. If I had to go for an all-out 10K personally and was picking one of these shoes, again, not including the Alpha Fly, it would be this. I think this and the Cloudboom Strike and the Deviate Nitro Elite 3, out of these top 3 fastest shoes, and that's why I've ordered them in this way. But it still does have a soft feel. So if you're looking for something soft and fast, and you don't mind that potential heel softness, mushiness, I would go for this thing. The Cloudboom Strike is a good alternate if you want soft and fast and you don't want to deal with any weirdness in the heel. This one is not going to have any stability issues or any mushiness or squishiness, so this would be the good alternate. Other things with this shoe, upper is good. It feels light on foot. The bounce is really incredible. It's just the back half of the platform for me doesn't do it. You also do have a small patch of Continental rubber up on the front. The rest of this is something called Light Traction, which is a CPU. I actually learned it was manufactured for skateboard wheels, which is cool. So overall, fastest shoe here. I know a ton of people, the other reason why I wanted to highlight it was because a ton of people in the 330 marathon range have posted about the shoe on the Supple app and just love it. This is, I think, of the latest batch 2025 release shoes, this came out late 2024, but this is one of the most beloved shoes. Anytime I leave it off a list, people say, where's the Adios Pro 4? Where's the Adios Pro 4? So this is one of the people's picks, not my personal pick. If I had to do a 330 marathon, it would probably be SC Elite V5. That would be my pick out of these right now. Deviate Nitro Elite 3. If I had to go for a sub 3 or sub 250, might be this guy. And then for my sub 230 attempt, probably not going to be any of these shoes here. I mean, maybe the Alpha Fly, but just because it's been out in the market for so long, it feels like there's better options with the lower weight and everything. So these are the core picks. I know people like the Fast R3, people like the Sky Tokyo. I personally would not pick the Sky Tokyo or I don't know, Edge. Stay tuned. I'm going to do a long run on that soon, but I wouldn't pick the Sky Tokyo or the Fast R3 if I had to go out for a 3.5 hour long run. That's how I look at it, right? Would I pick that shoe for a 3.5 hour long run? No. I did a 2 hour and 20 minute long run in the Sky Tokyo, and my feet felt decently beat up. So would I use it for a 2.5 hour marathon? Yeah, also it's a PR attempt, and I know a 3.5 hour marathon is a PR attempt as well, but if I were going for one additional hour, I would not want to be spending all that time in the Sky Tokyo. Maybe the Edge is going to be the better one for 3.5 hour marathoners. I have heard that a lot of people in that range are liking that one. Again, stay tuned. And with the Fast R3, just no. That one is just so aggressive. Unless you are a violent forefoot striker and you don't need the back half of the platform at all, I wouldn't even consider the Fast R3. It also, for me, with the Fast R3, it just feels like I need to be running sub 6-minute pace to get those benefits. Whereas all these shoes that I've brought out here, even the Alpha Fly, I can be running 7 flat pace or 750 pace and get the bounce. That's what makes these shoes good, right? You don't need to be throwing down a ton of force. You could be running that 7:59 pace for the 3:30 marathon or sub 3:30 marathon attempt and get the benefit. Especially with, these softer shoes, a lot of them feel really good at those paces and almost feel like they're designed for those paces, versus the Fast R3 and the Sky Tokyo very much feel like they're designed for elite paces. So there you go. Lots of good options on the market today. I'm sure I missed one. I'm sure I missed somebody's favorite. Let me know who I snubbed. And if you're a 3:30 marathoner, let us know what shoe you're racing in or what shoes you have raced in the past that have worked well for you. So that is all I have for you today. I appreciate you. We'll be back with the long run soon. And then I was going to say I'll be back tomorrow with another video, but I messed up because this will be back. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. Of course, I'm done filming and the lawnmowers are done. Yeah. So I guess Saturdays I have to film at 5 p.m. Either 5 p.m. or early in the morning. But I haven't been running on Saturdays, so I don't film my morning runs like I do all the other days. But then I ended up running today anyway. We'll see how this goes tomorrow. But mileage is like a drug, man, because I'm at 128 miles on the week right now. I think the higher my mileage goes and the more frequently I'm running, it's like the more I need it. Just inject that mileage straight into my veins. When I'm at 80 miles a week, I'm just, I don't need to run today. Just taking it easy. But when I crank the volume up, then I just need to keep feeding the beast. I'm a mileage addict.